Okay, this video is called the chain rule, and it's when you have a function within a function. So the derivative of f of g of x is equal to the derivative of f of g of x times g of x. So a function, g of x, within a function, f of x, you take the derivative of the outermost, f of g of x, times the derivative of the innermost function, so there's g prime of x. So this will make more sense with examples, which is what I'll do here. I have 6 examples set up for you. So I'll start with this one. Right here we see this is a function that's being cubed. So you think of it as sort of like x cubed. You would follow the same rule of multiplying times the exponent and then subtracting 1. But then you have this function, x squared plus 1, that's within the function. So we'll take the derivative of the outermost, which looks like this, 3 x squared plus 1 to the second power. So I multiplied by 3 and subtracted 1. But now I have the derivative of the innermost function, which is the derivative of this is 2x, so times 2x. So I've done exactly what it says here. The derivative of the outermost times the derivative of the innermost. And of course I can clean this up a little bit, because this is 3 times x squared plus 1 squared times 2x. So it's all being multiplied, so I can just call this 6x. X squared plus 1 squared. And that's the derivative. This is the derivative of this. And that's the chain rule. It's taking the derivative of the outermost times the derivative of the innermost. Okay, so I have 5 more examples to show you. This can be rewritten as 3x squared minus x plus 1 to the 1/2. So now you have a function within a function, as being something being raised to a power. So the derivative, and I should make note that this is the derivative here. I'm saying equals. This does not equal this. This is y equals, and this is y prime. So what I'm doing in green over here is the derivative. So this is the function being rewritten, and now I'm going to take the derivative, 1/2 times 3x squared minus x plus 1 to the negative 1/2, because I'm subtracting 2 over 2, or subtracting 1. And the derivative of the innermost piece would be 3 times 2 is 6x minus 1. Okay, this can go in the denominator because it's being raised to a negative exponent, and the 2 is in the denominator. So if I were to clean this is in the numerator times 1. So if I was to clean this up, I'll do it in another color so we can see. I'll have 6x minus 1 over 2 square root of 3x squared minus x plus 1. Right, which is this being raised to the negative 1/2. If I bring it down, it's the positive 1/2, which is the square root. So that's the final answer. That's the derivative of that. Okay. Let's do another one. I'll stay with, I'll go with this color here. So now we have a trig function. We know that the sine of x is, the derivative is the cosine of x, but this is a function within a function. So we're talking about a trig function, and then inside the trig function we have 2x. So the derivative would be the cosine of 2x times the derivative of 2x, which is just 2. And we can write it like that. So that's what it looks like when you do the chain rule. The derivative of the outermost, which would be the cosine, times the derivative of the innermost, which would just be 2. Okay, this one can get rewritten. So so that looks like 7 times 3x plus 1 to the negative 1. Now you can see that you can have an outermost where you can take the derivative, and then the innermost here. So that will equal, when I take the derivative, negative 7, because I'm multiplying times negative 1, times 3x plus 1 to the negative 2, times the derivative of the innermost, which is 3. And so if I rewrite that, bringing this negative exponent down, we'd have negative 21, 3 times 7, negative 21 over 3x plus 1 squared. So this is the derivative of this. Okay, and two more. Again, this is very similar to this one here. The derivative, so this is a function within a function, and the derivative of the cosine is negative sine of 3x squared times the derivative of 3x squared, which is 6x. And we would just put this out front here, so it would be negative 6x sine of 3x squared. That's the derivative. And the last one, pretty straightforward, I guess, at this point. 4 times 5 is 20. 3 minus 2x cubed to the third times the derivative of the innermost, which is just 3 times 2 is negative 6x squared. And we can multiply this times this, and we'll get negative 6 times 2 is 12, 120 x squared times 3 minus 2x cubed. So I'll just multiply these two. And that's it. That's the chain rule. It's a function within a function. It's the derivative of the outermost times the derivative of the innermost.